What's up guys, Media Review Mike here. So today, I thought I would take a look at some more Plants vs. Zombies creepypastas. So here we've got Deadplants.exe 2. It's been sort of recorded by the same guy. This was actually made before the previous one, as far as I can tell. I have watched this one, and the review I did was unsalvageable.
Oh hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
These are not necessarily my fresh reactions, but the reaction was the same. I've not really needed to stew on this. I've been pretty consistent in my thought that it was bad. Spoilers, it's not good. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, in the previous one I did, I said that this was meant to be an improvement. It's not. If anything, I thought it was worse. Also, something that should be noted, despite this being longer and being titled 2, this is not a sequel. This is actually a remake. So it is not. So the 2 isn't to indicate that it's a sequel, it's to indicate that this is the second sort of attempt at Deadplants.exe. But enough waffling, let's get into it. Sup Gucci Gamers, film critic turned notorious e-boy Media Review Mike here. I just wanted to quickly mention that the person who made the videos that I'm reacting to actually commented on my previous video. He was a pretty good sport. He said, thanks for reacting to my video. Sorry, the story's not very good. I just wanted to clarify, the person who made these videos didn't write these stories, and I'm not criticizing the videos. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm criticizing the stories. And as if it needs to be said, don't send hate to anyone who made these, like the person who made the videos or the people who wrote the stories, because it's just not necessary. That goes without saying. And if Neoplants Chris is watching this video, thanks for being such a good sport. It's really appreciated. I'm going to go back to editing this monster of a video. Excited, guys.
Summer vacation is finally here and I'm super happy, just like any other person in high, middle or elementary school. Once vacay happens, everyone wants to go overseas, go on rides, mountain hiking, parasailing and more. Me? Nah, I'm not like that. I prefer to sit home alone and play video games all day, just like every other gamer kid.
Okay, so off to a great start already. So, Mr. Author, he has decided to give us a lovely list of activities that might happen during the holidays. Or I suppose Americans call it the break, I guess. I don't know. Those were just very specific, and I don't know why I thought it was funny. Parasailing, mountain hiking. It sounds like this author just listed off what he did in his holidays. And I also love how I love his acknowledgement that not only is he wasting his break by playing games, because he is indeed a gamer kid. I want to listen to that again.
Just like every other gamer kid. The thing is, there were no good video games to play on Steam, but I was preferring to play indie games other than those cool ass video games like Black Ops.
Okay. What do you mean there are no good games on Steam? There's thousands of games on Steam. I find it very hard to believe that there is literally no good games on Steam for you to pick from. I don't know, maybe this guy's Steam library is just ginormous and he's 100%ed all of them. And I also love how he lists as one of the cool-ass games, Black Ops. I never got into Call of Duty. Well, I've never really played Call of Duty. It's just never really interested me. But I know when I see someone who plays Call of Duty, I think, man, that guy's cool. He's hard. That's one tough dude. This is already making me laugh a lot more than the other one did, so I guess that makes me... It means I enjoy it more, I suppose. I don't remember like a lot of the specifics from the story. I just remember not liking it. Because oh, this is embarrassing. I just remember not liking it. No, that's worse. No, that's definitely worse. So I'm gonna shave it all off. Let's keep going.
Battlefield and all that. So I really want to search for some indie.
Also, just Black Ops, Battlefield, and all that. You've listed 2 games, so by all that, do you mean shooters? I know that this was probably written by, like, a 10-year-old or something. See, even then, I find that difficult to believe, because most 10-year-olds would probably think they're the coolest people on the planet for playing Black Ops or Battlefield. I don't know. I think at some point in the story, from memory, they determine his age. Yeah, I think they do. I think they said that he's 16. What 16-year-old talks like this?
After a few minutes of searching for what to play, I found Plants vs Zombies to play, the original one. It was a pretty good game that builded up a so-called epic series of the...
Builded up. I really want to believe that that was just a mistake on the person who's reading it, and it doesn't actually say builded in the actual, text. It was probably in the text. If you don't want to reread your own story, why the hell should I want to read your story, okay? You can't have a word like builded. If you write builded, you'll get the little red squiggly lines. Like, there is no way you can miss that.
This game was kinda old, dating back since 2009. I thought to myself, if Minecraft
dating back since 9 is grammatically incorrect.
Was that old and many people out there still play it, why not give Plants vs Zombies a shot?
This is the appeal to popularity fallacy. It's basically the idea that because something is popular, it is good, which is a fallacy and is not actually true. I need to tighten my microphone. Okay, I promise to never do that again.
I read the description before downloading it until I stopped reading when something caught my eye. At the end of the description, there was a sentence in red that said, "You killed us all." Haha, nice troll, PopCap, I thought to myself as I pressed...
I forgot about that line. Le epic troll, PopCap.
Trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
Sorry, let's go over the sentence he just said. He was reading the description, then he stopped reading the description because of something he saw that caught his eye. And that was, "You killed us all," and it was all in red. Now, I don't know if you can actually change the color of the description in the Steam messages, or description, I guess would be a better word. I'm assuming you can't. And then he follows that up with, haha, epic troll, PopCap. If I knew nothing about Plants vs Zombies, which this character clearly doesn't, because he's never played the game before, I wouldn't see that and think, oh, PopCap, oh, you little trolls. I would think, oh, this is like a horror game. It's got zombies, and this is sort of like a Doki Doki Literature Club sort of thing, where it's like, oh, it's not what it seems like a cutesy little kids game, and then it's blah, scary. Yeah, that's just weird.
To be honest with you, the game took about a day to download, so it pretty much ruined my day of gaming. So I decided to move on with my day while the game downloaded.
He did it. Out of all of the things to change from the original, you kept the day-long download process. Good job, author. I'm proud of you. Also, if this guy was interested in Plants vs. Zombies, he acknowledges that it was the original. Why not download the free-to-play sequel? Or one of the spin-off games, like Plants vs. Zombies Heroes? Or potentially cancel the download and try to download it from somewhere else, where you're not gonna have to wait a day. There are so many solutions to this problem that don't involve just completely wasting your day with literal nothingness. Doctor Strange, shut up. Alright, let's continue.
The next day, I saw the game in my files, but the game was in a file named Zplants. I clicked it only to find that the application was named Deadplants.exe instead of Plants.EXE or PVZ.exe. Was this a mod or something? I didn't know and I didn't care. All I wanted to do was play the game and that's it. I clicked the application. It didn't even show the PopCap, not even the loading screen. It just brought me to the home screen.
You know what that means, boys? Done it again. Haha. Knows everything about the game without ever playing it. Strike that off the creepypasta bingo.
First of all, I felt a little unnerved due to the music going off key and higher than usual.
You're scared of high-pitched music? What are you, 3 years old? Like, shut up. Again, he's revealed to be 16 later on in this story. And you've never listened to the music before? Like, again, you've not played this game, but maybe that's not fair. Maybe he's listened to the soundtrack. There are games that I recognize the soundtracks of that I've never played. And this is more of this sort of show, don't tell sort of thing, which is difficult when you're writing from a first-person perspective, to which I would just recommend not writing in a first-person perspective, because you're just making your life infinitely more difficult for basically no gain. It being from your perspective doesn't actually affect this. Well, it actually does in the very end. In the very, very end, but we'll get to that later. It barely affects the story. If this was written in the third person, all you'd have to do is give your character a name, which you do in the ending. You would have to establish a location, which you do in the ending. And you would just have to write it as if you were writing a novel. That would make your story a lot better. Framing it as if it's a first-person perspective retelling is a lot more restricting for your story. So there's no real reason to do it. You're basically throwing yourself into the deep end for no benefit. It's ridiculous. And because it's basically impossible for you to show and not tell, you have to tell the audience how to feel through your character. Because remember, you're the only character in your story. So the audience are gonna relate to you. So you're basically telling the audience, this is the scary bit. Right here, right now, this is the scary bit. And that is not how you write a story, big guy. Look, I'm not gonna pretend I'm some sort of writing expert. Like, you don't have to take my advice. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think that this is a really, really bad way to do the story. If I were to write a video game creepypasta, I would not personally write it in the first person. And I've always thought if I were to do a creepypasta, especially a lost media creepypasta, I would want to do something similar to that. I've always liked the idea of making a fake, like, live stream sort of persona, so you could establish it as sort of like a sort of found footage sort of thing, where this person, like, finds a spookawooka and he plays it and he's like, ooh, this is spooky, I like it, you know, this is a funny mod, you know, like, oh wow, yeah, it's Pokemon, but all the Pokemon are dead? That's crazy. And then maybe he starts getting seizures or something, you know, it's still not creative, it's not original, but it's objectively better written. And a lot of people don't like that word objective. A lot of people object to the word objective. most things that are perceived as subjective aren't. For example, comedy is not subjective. The art of comedy is objective. There are objective rules and there are objective guidelines that you have to follow. What makes you laugh absolutely is subjective. I still think the Among Us memes are funny. It's like, those are objectively bad jokes. They're not funny, but they make me laugh. And you know, some people think Amy Schumer's funny, which is like, I'm not gonna say it's fine, but you know, it's their opinion. One of my all-time favorite episodes of Doctor Who is End of the World, which is the second episode of season 1. And the resolution literally involves the Doctor having to walk across a bridge with giant spinny fans just sporadically placed across it, and he has to like walk across it without getting cut in half. And you're thinking, why is this happening? This is stupid. Why would anyone build it like that? But I love that episode. I can't help but love it. And it's not even that it's nostalgic. I just like it. You know, even things that are objectively stupid, like that, can still be enjoyable. And then you have things that are objectively good that you might not like. Sorry, that's just a little side tangent. I don't even remember how we got there, so I'm just gonna continue.
Button, and it faded into black and transported me to the first level. The call played at the stage beginning was a scream which made me jump. The levels were a bit hard and the music was off-key and high-pitched, which was kinda disturbing, so I decided to cover that music up in my NCS gaming mix playlist. A zombie eventually ate one of my pea shooters, and I swear to God, I saw a bit of blood splatter on the pea shooter, but I'm pretty sure it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. As I progressed through the intense levels, many zombies ate many of my plants, and before you can even plant your first sunflower, a zombie starts walking on the lawn.
Dude, you're just trash. Like, it's fine. We're all bad at something. It just happens that you're bad at this game.
And I swear to God, I saw a bit of blood splatter off the pea shooter, but I'm pretty sure it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. As I progressed through the intense levels, many...
Also, that's a contradiction, so you could have sworn you saw some blood. In fact, you'd swear it to the Lord himself, but you're pretty sure it was just your eyes playing tricks on you. You know, it's probably nothing. Yo, where my fellow milk drinkers at? Gonna make my bones nice and strong. Cheers. I like to think that this guy in real life is just really bad at Plants vs. Zombies, so he wrote a creepypasta so that he could sort of frame it as if it wasn't his fault. That's my headcanon.
Night levels was creepier due to a few things. The off-key music got a bit louder after each level I progressed, even though I had my gaming mix on. It overtook the gaming mix. Second of all, the graves had names of recent celebrities that died, like Tim Bergling, AVT, Stanley, and Carrie Fisher. When I used the grave buster on one of those graves, there would be a fast text that would pop up on my screen that read, "Why?" and then disappear. That was not the creepy part though. The creepy part was that around the final night levels, I would see different names on the graves, and names that sent chills up my spine. Some of the graves had names of people I knew in my life, but they were dead, like the names of my grandpa and grandma, my great-grandpa, and my 89-year-old 3rd grade math teacher. I don't want to say their names because it's private.
I forgot about that! My 89-year-old maths teacher. Sorry, 3rd grade maths teacher. So to quickly go over what we just heard, creepy bit. So brace yourselves, creepy bit. You're playing a game. You know that it's been released in 2009, but you're seemingly under impression that it's still getting updates. And there are the names of recently deceased celebrities. So your use of recently dates this story because Carrie Fisher died, what was it, 2016? Yeah. So this was clearly written in like 2016, 2017, like 2018 at the latest. I don't know who the first two were. I only recognize Stan Lee. Actually, no, Stan Lee died in 2018. Didn't he? Yeah, so this was written like 2018-ish. And then you reiterate that it was the creepy bit. Oh, no, sorry. Forgive me. I'm gonna have to backtrack a little. Okay, so he opens the sentence by saying, it was getting creepier. And then in that same paragraph, he says, but that wasn't creepy. What was creepy? I suppose that kind of makes sense. Because, like, you're saying, this is the creepy bit, and then you go explain something, but then you realize, no, that's not... This just reads... It's so weirdly structured. So, you establish you're about to explain what about this was creepy, which is already stupid, show don't tell, but you go to establish that you're about to explain something creepy, you explain something, and then you do this weird hurdle where you say, but that wasn't creepy, meaning that entire section about the dead celebrities, that was completely redundant. It added nothing to the story, because it wasn't even the part that you were describing as creepy. This next bit is. It's like if I said, this story is bad because of the tense swaps. It has a lot of moments in the story where I was thinking, you know, this probably could have been a lot better, but that wasn't the reason I disliked the story. The reason I disliked the story was because of the tense swaps. That's dumb. You're dumb. You should feel ashamed.
I would see different names on the graves and names that sent chills up my spine. Some of the graves had names of people I knew in my life, but they were dead, like the names of my grandpa and grandma, my great-grandpa, and my 89-year-old 3rd grade math teacher. I don't want to say their names cause it's private info, but apart from their names, it gave me big chills up my spine.
I just love the way this person is reading the story. He's getting so into it. You know, it's clear that he's not really read it before, or if he, you know, he's probably not practiced it too much, which I get. Like, if you couldn't pay me to read this hot garbage more than once. It's just so perfect. At what point do you see dead relatives of yours being referenced and not think, okay, this isn't okay, I'm calling the police? Or, hey mum, what? Do we have any, like, family members who were game developers?
But apart from their names, it gave me big chills up my spine.
Okay, so what the hell was that sentence?
I don't want to say their names cause it's private info,
Yes.
but apart from their names, it gave me big chills up my spine.
What? What? So, I promise I won't nitpick each, like, grammatical inconsistency. But you say, I'm not gonna say their names because it's private info, but apart from the names, it gave me chills. As if the chills were unrelated. That just doesn't make sense. What? Do you not have friends, author? Did you not have a friend that you could have said, hey, friend, could you please read my story and see if it makes sense?
At first I thought it sent some kind of malware into my computer to hack into my private files, but I had an antivirus. How could this be possible?
And that also doesn't make sense. Why would your personal files, like what files would give them that information? Do you just have a list of your deceased relatives sitting on your hard drive? Just to remind yourself. It's like, hey mama, grandma, and grandpa, oh, or they died. Forgot about that.
I had finally progressed to the pool level.
Hey! Let's go! Let's go! Pool levels weren't in the original. The pool levels are objectively the best levels in this game. Don't at me.
Nothing much happened during the pool and fog levels, except for the fact that they were both difficult, many plants got eaten, and the freaking eerie off-key in-game music literally grew louder and louder. Louder than my gaming mix playlist. I tried muting my computer, but even at 10% volume, it was almost like as if it was 40% volume.
Well, I'm really sorry about your playlist. That's gotta be really heartbreaking. So you said you tried muting your computer, but then you say that you had it on 10%. 10%'s not muting your computer, big guy. Also, I love the idea that this author just knows the specific, like, decimal level of each, like, percentage of volume on his computer, like, per divisible by 10. It's just like, 10% shouldn't be this loud. This is 40%. What's next? 30% sounding like 60%. What is this?
When I got to the roof levels, there was no music, except for faint static. Every level I completed made the static grow louder and louder till I had to take my headphones off, even at 10% volume. You might think that audio is the creepy part of the story. Well, you got it all wrong, my friend.
I'm gonna cry. I'm not okay. So, you might think the audio was the creepy part of the story, but you've got it all wrong, my friend. Oh, no. That's not the scary bit. The next bit's the scary bit. So first of all, a lot to dissect there. I want you all to keep in mind, this confirms he's writing in the past tense. So, you might have thought that was the creepy bit of this story, but you're wrong. This is in the past tense. I want you all to keep that in mind. Just take it and just stick it behind your ear. Second of all, again with the telling the audience what the creepy bit is, but this isn't even just like this made me feel really scared. This is literally, and I don't mean like 14-year-old white girl literally, I mean dictionary literally, telling the audience what to feel. You are saying this bit of the story is the scary bit. Your use of the word story You're not saying this is the scary bit. You're saying this is the scary bit of the story. Getting another drink. I'm an alcoholic now. I don't like explaining jokes, but that's a joke. It's kombucha. That made me a lot more angry than it should have.
The creepy part was what happened at the end of the game. Apparently there was a Zombos boss level where you fight Dr. Zombos in his Zombot to complete the game.
Take a drink every time he says zomba. Those syllables specifically. Just stop this joke, it's not funny. At least this time he acknowledges that apparently this is meant to happen. Because he's never played the game before, so he doesn't actually know.
But instead of a Zombos, the screen turned black and white text faded in. It read, "Why did you do this to us?" A few seconds passed, and this time, a red text faded in, and it read, "Now we will do this to you." All of a sudden, I was transported into a daytime level, but I couldn't tell. The background looked like a switch of colors looking evil-like, but worst of all was the lawn. The lawn was blood red and half as large
Let's
as
go! Blood red! Scary!
the lawn from the beginning of the game, like a mirror image of the lawn. I had absolutely no idea what the frick was going on with this game, almost as if it was
Whenever I hear the word frick, I just get, oh! Don't want mummy hearing any bad words.
There were no zombies though, but it told me to choose my seeds. I picked sunflower, repeater, gatling pea, kernel pulp, tall nut, cherry bomb, snow pea, and jalapeno.
Not a terrible lineup.
No zombies appeared as well, but then I saw a plant spawn on the opposite sided lawn. Except this plant didn't look like one of the
Still has
cartoony
5
plants.
minutes.
This one was slightly darker and completely shredded from top to bottom, looking like a freak show. A nightmare from something indie coming to life. It didn't even look
Something
cartoony.
indie?
It looked so real. Imagine seeing that in real life at night. You could hear bones cracking and blood
I'm surprised he didn't say hyper-realistic.
dripping all around with its dark, soulless eyes. It looked at the sunflower I planted and shot peas at it, but the peas it shot looked decomposed and monstrous. It shot peas slightly faster than a normal pea shooter did. Imagine what happens if it was a repeater or a gatling pea. I was getting a bit scared, so
Could you
I started to
imagine?
fight these dead plants that planted themselves. Now I know why the application was called Deadplants.exe.
You're not clever. Stop trying to be.
The more I fought against this never-ending army of the plants that got eaten in the game, the more loud and fuzzy static started building up covering my screen that I couldn't even see, right to the point where my entire screen was static. I heard the crunching game over sound. There was no yell, just like normal levels where you lost. Instead, the screen just popped into a white screen and blood started to drip down from it, and a loud blood-curdling distorted scream started to play and it almost popped my eardrums. It even broke my entire audio system. Then the
So what, your audio system broke because it was loud? That's not how audio works, at least in my experience. I think you'd have to have a really terrible audio system if a high-pitched screaming sound effect was enough to make it explode.
game shut down with an error sign that read some glitch words. I looked closer and I realized what it said behind the glitch. It said, "We will do this to you." Not to mention, it started storming heavily outside. I shut off my PC and tried deleting the application,
Hey, my guy got a better microphone. Good on you.
but it just wouldn't let me. While I was trying to delete it, I looked outside and it was pitch black. I couldn't even see outside, but when the thunder clapped, I could at least see a bright flash of the entire neighborhood and street for a few seconds. Then complete darkness again. Oh boy, I wish I really didn't look out the window then, because what happened next changed my life forever. A thunder clapped and I saw
Again, see this? This is the thing I told you to put behind your ear. It's the tip of my kombucha can. Shut up. We're still in the past tense. I need to remember that he just said it was going to change his life forever.
my garden. It was empty. The thunder clapped again, and in the light, I saw a figure of a person standing in my lawn. When I saw it for a few seconds, I couldn't believe my eyes. That figure was me. But when I looked like I was buried for some time. My skin was decomposed badly, revealing parts of bones and guts, and my hands and legs were replaced with slightly sharp claw-like hands. My eyes were completely black and soulless, but worst of all, I was also shredded up like a freak show's creation, a twisted fallen angel of fate. Right before the flash faded to pitch black, I saw the figure turn its head towards my bedroom window where I was looking at it from. I couldn't tell if it was really staring at me or not because it had no eyes, or if it sensed me. The next thunderclapped and I saw a dead plant from the game next to it. It was a pea shooter. Then a second dead plant pea shooter rose from the ground as the undead me snapped its right hand. Terrified, I ran to my parents' room to grab my dad's Enfield No. 2 revolver.
The author is based? Question mark? Is this not based in Red Pill, guys? You went to your parents' bedroom not to get your parents, but to get your parents' gun. Based!
When I suddenly heard a whisper behind me. A whisper. It said, "Why?" I quickly turned around and saw undead me staring at me with a blank expression, even though my heart was pounding fast.
Hang on, guys. I think I need to get some mood lighting going on here. Because we're getting to the scary bit. I think it's only appropriate. I think we're gonna get to the spooky bit soon, guys. It's not happened yet, but I'm sure it will eventually.
Staring at me with a blank expression, even though my heart was pounding fast and fear was running all over me, I had the courage.
See, that's showing and not telling. I mean, the phrase "fear was running all around me" and running all over me, that's dumb. But you know, that was an attempt, so you get points for that.
To lift the revolver and fire 4 shots at its chest. The bullets did nothing to stop him.
What?
All they did was make 4 holes in his chest with blood dripping out of them. He looked at the bullet holes and then back at me and said, "Why did you do this to us? Why did you do this to me?" I landed another 2 shots in its head, but of course, it didn't do any damage. When I tried to reload, it choked me and lifted me up in the air with superhuman strength. Then it yelled, "Now we will do this to you. Now I will do this to you." I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna throw me down in the backyard from the window. Help me, I'm gonna fall!
There we have it. We have a tent swap! Let's go! But this ain't just any old tent swap. This is one of the single dumbest tent swaps I've ever heard. You're gonna end your story by implying that the author was writing this as he went. And then you write it in past tense the entire time. Meaning, this isn't just a tense swap. This is a tense swap from the inaccurate tense back to the correct tense. Meaning, for the past 9 minutes, you've been writing in the wrong tense. Bravo. Bravo, author. Now for the epilogue. By the way, I'm still waiting for the scary bit. Was the scary bit when he shot the weird thing and it had blood? Was that the scary bit? I don't know.
Alright, here's the report. Name Melvin Kingston, age 16. Cause of death, he was
16.
thrown out of the window in the parents' room facing the backyard, and when he fell, he got impaled in the left leg, chest, and the forehead by the sharp iron bars on the backyard walls. According to the report, there were fingerprints, Melvin's own fingerprints. It was as if Melvin choked himself and threw him out of the window onto the bars, so it could have been a suicide attempt. We do not know why he did this, but according to the next door neighbor, she claims that she saw 2 people in the room that night in the incident. The person holding a gun claims to be Melvin, but the other person, it looked like Melvin. And
the person holding the gun claims to be Melvin. That implies that Melvin claims to be Melvin, but Melvin's dead. So that was Deadplants.exe. Pop and Low Gangsters, Media Review Mike here. It is now 6 days later as of filming the original review. I've had my hair cut, and I forgot to record a final thought, so I figured I'd do that now. So Deadplants.exe 2, if I had to sum it up in one word, would be a lie. I was told it was better, wasn't. It was very very much worse. I think a lot of it came down to how just completely ridiculously stupid the ending was. And the funny thing is, that isn't even like an uncommon way to end a creepypasta. That's done a surprising amount. I definitely think I had more fun with this one, but I was also stopping and criticizing it a lot more, except for near the end where I had to force myself to stop because I was just pausing every 3 seconds to complain about something. I'm quite good at complaining. So all in all, I would definitely say that it was worse. And I kind of hate myself for reacting to it. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. This joke sucks. Media Review Mike out.